The massive scale of U.S. military logistics is mind-blowing. Moving endless columns of armored vehicles by rail, by deep water ports, and by massive roll-on roll-off ships plying the oceans. What does it take to move billions of dollars worth of tanks, armored vehicles, and heavy equipment from the continental United States to the front lines of a potential conflict in Europe? Coordination, precision, and a logistical machine that spans the globe. Transporting a force this size overseas first requires that all of this equipment be assembled in massive marshalling yards. These yards are located at strategic railheads controlled by the U.S. Army. These railheads allow the Army to plug directly into the nation's vast rail network. Flat rail cars are loaded close to their maximum capacity. These flat cars can be up to 68 feet long and have a capacity of over 100 tons. Each tracked vehicle must be carefully driven into place and then chained down for safety. Crews use steel chains and ratchet binders to tie vehicles down, which are then inspected by safety officers. The Army operates a small fleet of its own locomotives. The combined weight of these trains is hard to fathom. But most of the hauling is done by commercial rail networks, such as Union Pacific and BNSF. Billions of dollars worth of precious hardware ride on these flat cars as they roll through town after town. Photographers often camp out to get shots of these rolling marvels as they snake through population centers. The next stop for this billion-dollar train is one of the nation's seaports. As you're about to see, each of these vehicles has a ticket to ride on an ocean-crossing vessel. You're looking at a roll-on, roll-off ship. Large ro-ro ships like this one, operated by the Military Sealift Command, are key to the rapid deployment of an armored brigade. The defining feature of these ships is the large reinforced ramps that allow vehicles to be driven directly on and off the vessel. The ramp can be positioned either port or starboard. Ships in this class have over 300,000 square feet of cargo space spread across multiple decks. MSC crew members oversee all aspects of transit and delivery. But Military Sealift Command doesn't just use its own vessels. It also contracts with privately owned ships. These privately owned vehicle carriers are part of the Maritime Security Program. These massive vehicle carriers are some of the largest of their kind. Drivers use ramps within the ship to reach both upper and lower decks. This ship has over 400,000 square feet of cargo space, spread across 9 decks. She can carry the equivalent of 7,500 passenger cars. As you can see in this rare footage from inside the cargo bulkheads, these spaces are massive. These vehicles wait their turn to be called onto the ship at their exact load time in a carefully choreographed process. The order has been worked out to provide the most efficient use of the ship's deck space. Fitting everything into the last available spaces on the ship is like a giant game of Tetris. The load plan is like a jigsaw puzzle. Crews carefully guide everything into place. And as you can see, with just inches to spare. Multiple tie points along the deck flooring allow everything to be secured in place. Helicopters are prepared for loading in a number of ways, most notably by the folding of the rotor blades. This allows the aircraft to take up a smaller footprint. In some cases, the rotor blades can be removed entirely. The tail boom and other components may also be folded or disassembled. The helicopters are then towed on board. But the final stage of positioning involves ground crews manually pushing the aircraft into their designated spots. As you can see, these aircraft are light enough to be pushed and pulled by hand, allowing precise positioning. Tying down the birds is crucial, as their lightweight and delicate structures make them vulnerable to tossing in rough seas. Bar-coded labels are scanned by handheld devices carried by MSC crew. These bar-coded labels allow each piece of equipment to be tracked globally. Military Sealift Command is also responsible for resupply of ships, known as replenishment at sea. MSC also operates various tenders and 2 massive hospital ships. When operating a ship containing an entire armored brigade worth billions of dollars, the operational security of these convoys is a high priority. The precise movements are often classified depending on the situation. The delivery destination of an armored brigade is typically the deepwater port of a NATO ally, like this one here at the port of Alexandroupolis in Greece. Here, the entire process is set in motion once again, but this time in reverse. Everything is reassembled in the port's container yard and organized to be shipped further on. Once again, rail will be the primary mode of transportation across land. Barges are used for some shorter distances within European waterways and along rivers. To load barges, vehicles are lifted into place. All of this equipment started its journey in places like Fort Hood and Fort Bliss in Texas. Billions of dollars of hardware moved by rail and by sea. But what gets it halfway around the world is the support of thousands of experienced crew at every point. The scale of U.S. logistics is staggering, but it requires a ready and modern fleet of the right kind of ships. This capability is expensive to build and maintain. The nation's security is more than just weapon systems. It's also making sure a workforce of merchant mariners is nurtured and maintained, along with a ready force of modern ships that can perform this kind of sea lift. Moving this kind of force is a marvel of planning and execution, but in the end, it's only as good as the people who make it possible. If you've seen any part of this process up close, we'd love to hear from you in the comments below. And if you'd like more short videos like this one, be sure to hit the thumbs up button to let us know. And subscribe to our channel for the latest episodes. Thanks for watching.